Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on bin number 1. So we're getting really close to harvesting this. We're going to check it out this time. I'm not going to add any food. We're going to just sort of see how the worms are doing, let them finish off any food that's in there, see if there's any bedding that's left. I mean, this can all go through the sorting machine and kind of work itself out. We are also going to want to remove the lid and start drying this bin out to get ready for harvesting. It's probably a little bit too moist to go through the harvesting system that I have, which is a sorting shaker screen that shakes back and forth. And it's going to need to dry out before it can do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably leave this lid off. We're just going to fluff the castings a little bit, try to get the worms maybe to one side, maybe with some food on top eventually, but not yet. But right now it's just a matter of taking a look at it, see how it's doing, and getting it ready for harvest. So let's go and take a look and see where we are and see how close we are to harvesting this bin. All right, here's bin number 1. Here's our last update and today's update. So it's been 15 days since our last update that we did, but that's okay because we're really just trying to get this ready for harvest. Not much moisture on the lid, a little bit over here maybe in this corner, but not much. So let's get this this label off right here that shows us where we last fed. And by the way, there was a lot of moisture on this. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. There's quite a bit of moisture on there. And let's dig around in here and see how this is doing. It looks like it's pretty well broken down, this material. Just so you can see here, this cloth they're starting to eat away at this cloth. There's some holes in it. Let's move this back just a little bit. Oh, actually, move it forward. There we go. So I'm going to move this off to the side. See, there's already some little worms over here. Let's just dig through this a little bit. It looks very smooth in here. They do smooth things out. The material, though, looks pretty good. Actually, it's a lot more crumbly than I thought it would be from the last time we checked it. I thought it might be a little bit too moist to go through, but this might be able to go through the sorter that I have. Now maybe the corners here a little bit wet in the corners here, but overall this looks well. There's still some food over here, maybe that's why. But look at this. See, a nice big handful of worms right there. So they're still working on that food. Oh my gosh, look at this. That almost be worth taking them out just to get them out of here for that. But look at that. They are crawling right through the coffee grounds over here. So we're gonna leave that over there. I thought that would be gone by now, but hey, they're still working on it. That's perfectly fine. We're just digging this corner right over here. Again, material looks really good. It's really broken down. Still some worms. It looks like there's a piece of a banana peel. We'll just bury that back over here. As I said, we're not going to add any real food this time. No veggies, no fruits, nothing that they really have to break down. So this looks pretty good right here. Some worms just working through it. Looks like there's a piece of avocado shell right here. Those take a while to break down. We'll probably have to put that back in the bin, but that's okay. That happens. Well, look at this nice rich material here. It's not quite black gold. A lot of my castings do end up this brownish color because I use a lot of cardboard. And it's not like they turn it black. They turn it to the color of a mixture of the material. So look at that. Nice material, though. It's actually a little bit more dry than I realized. I thought last time it was a little bit too wet to really go through the sorter, but this looks like it'll be able to go through just fine. So we don't have to leave the top off, but we are going to let them kind of work through this a little bit more. We're just going to fluff this up here. Kind of get them really working through all the material. They still have food, so we definitely don't want to sort yet because there's still food in here. I like to make sure all the food is gone. Break open all these clumps that are in here. Just really make sure you get it nice and aerated through. Now let me just see if I can get this right here so you can see my arm, but you can see it's sort of taking the shape of the bottom of this bin right now. And you can see this is a kind of a big clump. It's a little shiny, so it's really starting to stick, but look at this. Just flakes apart. A little bit of pressure to it. Some worms in there. So they're working on this material. They're really finishing this up. It's looking pretty good. Still some paper in here, as you can see, from the paper that we've added last. But that's okay. As I said, there's going to be stuff that comes out through the sorting machine and has to go back into a bin. And that's perfectly fine because a lot of the stuff is nice and rich with microbes to go back into a new system. Right now, though, just need to break up all these clumps, get air everywhere in the system, and keep this moving. We're not going to add any moisture or anything, but we're just going to take a look here. You can just see, this is just a really good, rich material. It's really, really good. It's ready for the garden, but we're just going to let these worms work through it a little bit more. It's not going to hurt the worms to go through it a few more times. If you left them in there for months, maybe it would be, but it will actually start to hurt them. I'm just trying to dig through this corner here. Get this, so you can see this nice corner block get that nice and broken up now. So it looks like there's still some banana peels in here, but even those are coming apart too. So now one of the other options that I was debating on doing this was adding like a layer of maybe some dry food to the top to sort of lure the worms to a specific area, but I don't think it's quite ready for that. Just some more coffee grounds right here. We'll bury those in here. This bin looks incredibly healthy, looks really good, but I don't think we really need to harvest it yet. I don't think we need to add anything or take anything away at this time. We're still going to mark that we're going to make this a quick update here. We're going to mark that side again, and we're going to close this up and just put it back, and we're just going to let it sit for another couple weeks. So, actually, hold on, I forgot the shirt here. Let me throw this shirt back on top, just so we can kind of keep that area marked off where we last fed. I thought that the food would be gone by now, but not the case. We are seeing, just so you can see here on this lid, I do see some springtails starting to creep up in here. That happens. A lot of my systems have springtails. I don't really care about them too much, but they can become annoying after a while when you get a whole lot of them. But I'm starting to see them on this lid here creeping up a little bit, just so you guys can see. But that's about it. So we're gonna close this up and call this an update, and we'll come back, in a week or two, and see if we're ready to maybe put this through the sorting machine and harvest it, and see how much castings we get out. This feels probably around like 25 pounds, if I had to guess, worth of material in here with the container. So looks like a good harvest. As you can see, though, this has been going for quite a while, which, for how we're doing this, it's not too bad, really. Some systems are faster than others, and it depends. We could have added more material to this. I mean, there is still space in here. I mean, normally I like to go up to about these lines, so there's a couple inches between here and the top, and there's probably about, 4 inches between the castings and the top of where the lid would be. So I like to harvest that. I mean, I've let them fill up almost to these holes in the back here. So, I mean, these holes that I've going around, I've filled it up almost to there and then harvested. I just find it to be a lot harder to do and to maintain. So that's why I tend to harvest them a little bit early. Some people only let it go a couple inches and then they harvest it. So that's our update. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you.